Hi, my name is Greg Maurer. I'm the Jornada Basin LTER Information Manager, and today I'm going to give a short talk on navigating the Jornada data ecosystem. And this data ecosystem includes not just LTER data, but also data from the Long-Term Agro-Ecosystems Program, or LTAR, which was recently established by the USDA, as well as a number of other programs that do research at the Jornada. So together, all of these programs and researchers offer up a rich data ecosystem at the Jornada. And if you're a researcher or another interested party, you can act as both a data producer or a data consumer in this ecosystem. So that's how I'm going to frame the talk today. And the talk will have 4 parts. I'm going to start by discussing the Jornada research data principles that we operate under. Then I want to talk about a couple of prominent data sets that are frequently requested and used in Jornada research. I will describe our current data management systems, and I'll intersperse that with some discussion of our future directions, because there are some new programs developing at the Jornada and upcoming changes to our data management system are planned. I will then talk about using and contributing data. So how do you access Jornada data, and how do you publish data with the Jornada? The Jornada research philosophy starts with a commitment to generate high-quality, impactful rangeland ecology and management research. So we try to be open towards diverse stakeholders, including scientists, land managers, state and federal agencies, the public, and other stakeholders. So that means we try to open up our research process and our data to those stakeholders. And we also have a variety of education and collaboration activities that our stakeholders can participate in. On the data side, we provide our data under fair data principles. So we want our data to be findable, accessible for download and use, interoperable with other data sources, and we want our data to be reusable, so available and able to be reused in multiple contexts and for a long time period. So in return for making this Jornada data available, we ask a couple of things from Jornada researchers and data users. We ask that when you use Jornada data in a publication, please cite that data. We ask data collectors to collect both quality data and to describe their data sets with quality metadata. And we ask our Jornada researchers to publish their data and metadata and make it openly accessible to the community. So now I'll talk about a couple of prominent Jornada data sets. The first is the JER Quadrat data. These data are collected at 122 locations across the Jornada experimental range. And the data collected are plant type, cover, and vegetation density. And these variables have been measured since 1915 at all of these permanent quadrats. So this makes the data set an excellent one for understanding vegetation change through time. Those data are available at the EDI repository. That's a repository I will describe a little bit later in the talk. The Jornada also has a large amount of meteorology data, starting with the headquarters weather station. So this station has been in place and collecting data daily since 1914. Data are available at NOAA, as well as there are data packages on the EDI repository. More recently, a new weather station has been installed at the International Biological Program Exclosure Site, the IBPE grassland site, which collects 15-minute data, and that data has been collected since 2015. Data are available at the Ag Data Commons, as well as in packages at the EDI repository. There are several rain gauge networks on the Jornada as well. The one with the longest record is the Standard Can Gauge Network, which has been collected monthly since 1916, and there are 29 standard can gauges. those data are available at EDI. In addition to these prominent LTER datasets, there are a number of other datasets available, both associated with LTER and USDA and the other research partners operating at the Jornada. So for example, cattle physiology and stocking rates associated with grazing in the Jornada Basin have been collected by LTER and USDA programs over the years. Since the 1980s, the Jornada Basin LTER program has collected long-term ecological data on plants, soils, and a variety of ecosystem processes. There are 3 eddy covariance towers measuring mass and energy fluxes. 2 are associated with the Ameriflux network and 1 with the NEON Observatory in the Jornada Basin. A variety of small animal activity data sets have been collected by both LTER and NEON programs. The NRCS has several soil survey sites with data available for the Jornada Basin and the region. And more recently, the National Science Foundation has funded a critical zone observatory that will measure and publish data on critical zone processes in the Jornada Basin. We also have a variety of imagery and spatial data collected from satellites, drones, and other platforms that is available upon request. We are working on making that imagery and spatial data available on our website in the near future. So together, all of these data sources give us an integrated view of the Chihuahuan Desert rangelands. And Jornada research and data is widely used and cited in the rangeland ecology literature. Our data has a lot of applications both in this research but also in management contexts as well. So the goal of the Jornada data management system is to support both the research as well as access and use of our data in these other contexts. So if you are looking for Jornada data, I can recommend 4 places to look. The first and most important for now is the EDI data repository. EDI stands for Environmental Data Initiative, and our most up-to-date Jornada data is present in that repository. There is also a data catalog on the Jornada Basin LTER website that reads from EDI, so you can search Jornada data at the Jornada LTER website as well, but it is the same as what exists at the EDI repository. The Ag Data Commons, which is a USDA data repository, also holds Jornada data. Unfortunately, much of the data at Ag Data Commons is out of date, and often data packages at Ag Data Commons point back to older data sets on the EDI repository. So again, I recommend searching for data at EDI, either at EDI or using the Jornada LTER website. In the near future, we intend to have a unified search and access interface for Jornada data on the USDA Jornada website. So this interface would access LTAR data, LTER data, and data from other Jornada programs under one interface. Every Jornada data set comes with metadata. Metadata are data about the data. So they include information on what was collected and using what units, where the data were collected, when, by whom, and other details. Metadata allows reuse of a data set. So after data are collected and published, without metadata, details about that data set can be lost over time as things are forgotten, as personnel change, as file formats change, or other things decay the value of a data set. So one of our primary goals in the Jornada data management system is to collect this quality metadata and attach it to our data sets so that we don't lose information about them. So any Jornada data set should be accompanied by quality metadata files. We ask that when you use Jornada data, that you cite it. So in any journal article in which you analyze and publish Jornada data, please include a citation for that data set. Do the same in technical reports and web publications. When you do create those citations, use a DOI, which is a unique identifier for a data set, making it accessible anywhere on the web. If you are collecting data, we recommend that you follow a few guidelines to make your data set better and easier to publish. So we ask that you collect not only sound data, but also collect metadata while you are collecting your data. As you analyze your data, make that an open process. And a couple ways you can do that are to write documentation of your research and data analysis process. And if you're using tools like R to analyze your data, you can comment, organize, and share your code in a way that's useful to others. So if you go through these steps as you are preparing to publish your research and publish your data and metadata with it, you should ask yourself these questions. Could another researcher independently verify your results? And could you reproduce your results? If you can answer those questions yes, then you are ready to publish your data and your metadata. And a side effect of this is that it does make your life easier because it's easier to publish data that is well documented, and it will also make your data easier to reuse in the future because often we want to reuse and build upon our data sets over time. As you collect metadata during your research, the metadata format is flexible. Just make sure you keep your metadata and your data together and keep them safe. The Jornada data management team is here to help. So we are currently developing new Jornada standards and procedures. We also have a GitHub Pages site that contains some documentation and also metadata templates that will make the process of collecting metadata and publishing data much easier. We are working on new interfaces and tools for Jornada Data, and we really want your ideas on that. So if there are new ways you want to interact with Jornada Data or tools you want to make it easier to collect, visualize, or publish Jornada Data, please let us know what those are. You can reach out to us at these email addresses. And once you do go through the process of publishing your data, you're joining the data ecosystem. So that makes you a data producer, and data producers create data files that are accompanied by metadata files, and we want these to end up in open access repositories like these. You can also be a consumer in our ecosystem, and consumers range from other scientists to state and federal agencies to funding agencies or the general public. If you need more help or more engagement, there are a couple of opportunities, including an R work group run by USDA statistician Darren James once per month. Those center on data analysis with R, but data management is also under discussion there. I run a weekly data therapy meeting on Thursdays. These are informal, but offer help on data access, publishing, and analysis, and other topics. So the Jornada websites are going to lead you to find some of those meetings and other resources. So please check our websites, and please reach out if you need help or have questions. We're very friendly, and we want to help you be a productive member of the Jornada data ecosystem. Thank you.